right, so here we are, and behind me is the X-Pro 125cc mini Jeep. This thing is sweet. We just got this thing shipped. We're gonna talk all about it, but first, let's go ahead and cut to that intro. Let's boot it. All right, first and foremost, how much? This one was $1,800 on sale plus $400 shipping, and that's without any taxes or any additional fees. It was $400 freight fee. We picked this up from Powersports Online. You can get it from Amazon. We'll make sure to put links for that down in the description as well. And then they also sell it directly from the X-Pro site. We chose the Powersports Online because it got quick shipping and it had a pretty decent discount at the time. We actually already had a mini Jeep. We had the Massimo 125cc, then we picked it up from Tractor Supply, and it had some really questionable items. We played with it, only drove it for a few hours, and then we actually returned it, and then we ordered this guy after quite a bit of research. So yeah, here it is, and what it comes with, how it comes shipped. It comes in a flattened pallet, and the pallet's only about this tall. The rear shocks are disconnected and the whole back end is pulled up. The wheels are not on, they're palleted on the side of the pallet. The steering wheel is not bolted on, it's laying down. So the entire pallet's only about 2 foot tall so that it cuts down on shipping costs. And then the seats are folded down. The spare tire that goes on the back is packed inside. The running boards are packed back here. You've got your exhaust still to put on right here. Just a cheapo little muffler guy there. And then you've got your windshield to bolt on, and the spare tire to bolt on, and the gas can to bolt on. In the tutorial video they show on how to put it together, the gas can's in the back, but for some reason they had my gas can shoved up under the wheel well, and it actually dented it a little. We were already missing at least 2 to 3 bolts. We missed a rear shock bolt. We missed the bolt for the linkage for the transmission back, and we were missing a bolt for the steering wheel. So I'm gonna take inventory. The first thing we're gonna do before we do anything is we're gonna take an inventory of anything that's missing or damaged. Then we're going to go through and go ahead and do the main steps just to get it into factory shape. And then we're gonna go over top of every nut and bolt, and we're gonna check, because these things do rattle and they lose a lot of, they're not necessarily tightened that well from the factory anyway, and then shipping probably causes more of them to fall in and out. Once we get that all done, then we're gonna go test it out. Of course, we're gonna have a little fun with it and get some baselines and figure out what it does well, what it doesn't do well. Of course, we'll take you along for the journey, and then we're gonna start modding it. We're gonna do some mods on this thing. We're definitely gonna buy us a winch and strap on the front. We're going to put a new speedometer in there because it comes in kilometers an hour, and this is America. We need miles per hour. And then maybe we'll do a tack. We'll do some fun extra lights. Maybe we'll do a fuse block in there. And then maybe we'll even get into some more things. Maybe we'll upgrade the carburetor. We'll see if we need to change one of the sprockets out to give it some more torque. But either way, we're going to do a lot of fun things. And yeah, here it is. We'll take you a walk around it, and we'll give you basically an overview of it real quick, and then we'll tear into it. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so one thing that this one features, the X-Pro model, is that it has the chrome wheels right off the bat. And so the front has a big open hub, and the back is actually running on splines, and you just slide the wheel onto the splines, and then you put the crown nut on there, the castle nut, with some cotter pins. So that's the first thing. The big difference between this and the Massimo is the engine. Let's go take a look at this engine. Let's take a walk around it first. So first things first, this one has a little bit of a different view on the front end than the Massimo. The Massimo does have a similar headlight system and the turn signals, but this actually doesn't have the traditional Jeep up and down design. The hood latches are slightly different. They doesn't have the mirrors that are on the fenders, the little itty bitty useless mirrors that come on the Massimo. This one actually has bigger usable mirrors. And so yeah, that's the front. Here's the biggest difference between it and the Massimo. Right there. This is the engine compartment on the Massimo, because it's a front engine vehicle. This is a rear engine vehicle. It's kind of a mid-rear. So the only thing up here is your fuel tank, and you got some brake lines, and that's kind of it on the front. And then you can see right down into your suspension. So yeah, you have a big open cavity under the hood on this one. And supposedly the engine in this one is an upgrade over the Massimo, but time will tell. And there's our front end. And so when it comes, those springs, those shocks are not hooked. They are actually compressed and kind of at an angle so that it will compress down for shipping, and the wheels obviously aren't on it. Another key difference on this one is it has the full floor pan. The Massimo had big openings up here, and just driving it down through the field, the whole inside filled up with hay, which was less than desirable. Another difference are the seats. These have 2 fold-down seats. That one actually adjusts. The Massimo has a single long bench seat, and it's clear back here, which even a 6-foot tall man, or a 6'8" tall man, can't really utilize it clear back here because you still have to touch the steering wheel and the gear shift. So there's another key difference. On this one, you have the blinkers, your turn signals, up here on the wheel. The Massimo has them on a button down here, which you can't really reach while you're driving. Conveniently, you have to lean clear up to hit them. So that's kind of useless. Up here, they're on the tree, on the steering column, so they're actually usable. The headlights and the turn signals. The back actually has a little bit of space behind the seats. There is a bar that will come right here and all the way around, kind of like a handlebar, a grip bar. On the back is very similar to the Massimo. It just has a gas tank holder and a spare tire holder. There's your turn signal, brake light, and parking light. And so yeah, that's the basic walk around. And then of course you've got the spare tire that goes on the back, the exhaust pipe that you need to put on right after you get it set up, the decals, the owner's manual comes with it, the windshield will need put on right there, and then this rear bar will need put all the way around. And then of course we have to drop the engine oil out and put real oil in there because it's more like a shipping oil just to keep all the parts safe from corrosion and whatnot. And here is your engine compartment right here under the seat. So you actually have to open that up to get down into the engine. But to drop the oil, you just get underneath of it and it's got a plug, so it's pretty easy to do. So yeah, there's the basic walkthrough. These things are supposed to do, I can tell you that I got the other one, I can tell you that I got the Massimo up to 35 miles per hour, which was like 60 kilometers per hour. All right, here. It's hard to see in this lighting, but yeah, there's that. There's your key, your indicator. So it shows neutral, and then you would shift your gears. One is reverse, you've got reverse, and then you've got 3 gears and neutral. So that's your gearing. And so yeah. So overall, after a ton of research, I came to the conclusion that the X Pro is just a sturdier, better build, and that's what we're going with. So yeah, there's the fun walk around. That'll just wrap us up for today. We'll get this put together, and then we'll go ahead and make our next video. Let's go ahead and cut out to that outro.